DeSean Jackson. He's golfing. He's having a good time. I want to talk about your season because I think I had it before. It was 1-11, right, in 2024?
Yeah.
1-11.
Yes.
For you to then have an 8-4 record, 4-1 in conference play, that is an incredible accomplishment with all the things you were handed. But I do want to say this. The win over Michael Vick and Norfolk State, we talked about it before, and then it happens at the link. You clinch your first winning season in over a decade. Can you tell me what that moment was like for you?
I mean, honestly, to coach last year and to be at a Division I, obviously at HBCU, you know, it was kind of surreal. You know, to this moment, I still don't see how I'm a head coach in collegiate football. I've never predicted that. And, you know, it's moments where I can just receive myself being a young guy that came out of, you know, Long Beach Poly and went to University of California. And, you know, just everything I've learned and all the coaches, the great coaches that coach me. And, you know, now it's my opportunity to pour into these young men. I mean, it's just a fulfilled moment. But to take a team that was 1-11 and obviously pull off what we pulled off last year, the game at Lincoln Financial Field, I mean, to see all those fans come out and support me and, you know, my brother Michael Vick was a blessing moment. So, you know, like I said, the biggest thing is, you know, just pouring into these young men and just help trying to change their futures and their lives.
What's the one thing that you're most proud of from this past season that you're going to build on? Because what you have camp like next week.
I mean, it's summer workouts. We don't start until the end of July for like training camp. But I mean, I think the biggest thing I could take away that I was proud at, that, you know, to see a culture change in the snap of a finger, see young men that weren't used to winning, that didn't know the feeling of winning, you know, because 2 wins in 2 years and 22 losses, you know, that's a huge flip and a huge turnaround. So just to be able to see all the hard work we put in and to go out there and see us have the success and, you know, see almost frowns and cries to come to nothing but smiles and joys. I mean, that was the most fulfilling thing I can say I took away from last year.
I saw that you lost some guys to the portal, and I have to say, just like knowing you, I just like how you've handled that. I feel like you've given it. What is that? What is that about you that you've given them lots of love to those guys? It's like you're not mad about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the college era that we're in right now. You know, college football, the dynamic has changed to something totally different. You know, I always talk about, I go back, if I was playing in this era, man, I would probably been getting some crazy amounts of money. But, you know, the biggest thing is I tell my players, man, come, you know, dedicate a year with me, obviously, and, you know, hopefully I can get you to a bigger destination. I mean, I think that's everyone's dream, to be able to go play at a Power 4 or Power 5. So, you know, like you said, having one of my running backs, Marquise Gillis, go to Arizona State, man, and he's getting some good money in his pockets. I'm like, hey, let me get a loan, you know? So it's just good to see these guys, man, just go live out their dreams. That's the biggest thing I can say.
Odell's living out his dream still. Talking about getting a little money, being where he is. He signs back with the Giants. A lot of people calling it like a fun, cute story. What do you make of it? Can he make an impact, and what does that look like?
I mean, I had a similar situation. You know, I left in Philadelphia in 2013, and obviously I came back in 2019, and you know, it's always a great thing when you're able to come back to a place you called home. You know, Philadelphia meant so much to me, and for me to leave how I left just really didn't sit right. And I'm sure he could probably say the same thing. So he gets another opportunity to go back and play in front of, you know, where he considered home for many years, that he's done some great things. So I'm excited to see how he'll finish off his career. I think this will probably be his last stint and his last destination. So I hope he goes out with a bang, and I'm praying for him always.
Let's get to the A.J. Brown trade. Enough flirting. Let's get right to the thing of it. So he finally gets traded. It's kind of like we were expecting it to happen. We're waiting for the clock to hit 4. It happens. Can you kind of what happened here? DeSean, tell me what happened here.
It sounds like one of those soap operas, man, where, you know, it's so much drama. I mean, you know, you have a relationship with, you know, Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, who, you know, they fluctuated. They did great business together, I guess you can say. You know, they was, you know, #1 duel for over 4 years. We racked up like 4,800 or however many yards. I mean, close to 5,000 yards. So, I mean, I just think over the period of time, I mean, it just shows like a relationship where at the end of it, you guys just see them going in a different direction. You know, I can't really point my hand on exactly what happened, but I just know I've heard a lot. And it was messy. I mean, it started off as being great friends and talking and hanging out, families hanging out, to, you know, them not even really speaking to each other in the locker room and on the field, you know. So it's just a frustrating situation to see. I just know the type of player he is and, you know, what he brings to the team. But it's unfortunate it just didn't really work out. And like you say, I know there's a lot of speculations. He's going to leave. He's not going to leave. And, you know, they did. I feel like they did a decent job of kind of keeping it somewhat under the radar. But obviously, at the end of the day, the final decision was him to go to New England, which everybody thought it was going to happen.
Who deserves credit for doing that decent job? Like, how does Jalen Hurts come out in all of this?
We'll see. I mean, he got to go win again, obviously, and he's always had that over his head that he has to win. I mean, but you know, taking a team to the Super Bowl 2 or 3 times, obviously won a Super Bowl, lost one as well too. So, I mean, I just think he got to go out there and produce. At the end of the day, that the league we play in, and that we are in the business of, you know, production is the thing. So he has to go out there and continuously produce. He got to go win games and. Hopefully it doesn't get too messy. Hopefully he doesn't take a drop off because he don't have his #1 receiver. But I mean, he got other #1 receivers as well in that building.
Well, we'll get to the football part of it, but we're talking about, like, you're saying it's a soap opera. It's just like drama. I'm seeing like rumors online, and I know that you know what happened, but I don't want to get you. I don't really want to know. I guess I'm more interested in, like, how could it not be fixed? Do you know what I mean? Like, was it really, from everything you know? There was really, like, it's over the cliff, couldn't come back from this. Like, if you were AJ, you couldn't somehow make it work. Like, there was no other way?
It's personalities, man. You know, you got personalities driven. You got alpha males that, you know, they all feel like they're the best of the best in the world, you know. And I just think at the end of the day, it's a lot of pride. You know, it's like you're in a relationship. I use this analogy. You're in a relationship with a woman, and sometimes you're prideful, right? You know you messed up, but you don't want to admit you messed up, you know? So I think in that scenario, in that situation, it's like, you know, it's sometimes it's too much to go fix. You know, sometimes you just like, you know, going to take the high road out. And I'm just like, I'm not going to attempt to fix that because I know all the bad things I've done. So I'm not going to blame the bad on who, but I just know it's a lot of bad that's been done. And, you know, somebody in that scenario was like, hey, I'm not making an attempt to fix it. And it is what it is. So I think that's what it came down to.
Out of like a pie, how much percentage is about football and how much was about not football?
I'd probably say 60-40, 60 football and 40% drama.
So this is about football. People think it's not about football, like, at all.
Nah, it definitely was about football, but I think the off the football allowed it to translate to the football, if that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, family life football, I mean, that's what it really comes down to. And, you know, when you get that's why they always say it's hard to, you know, do business with friends or with family, because once you get them in your business, then it's kind of hard to, you know, navigate through that. That's the unfortunate thing about it.
What are the Eagles? What is this offense without AJ?
I mean, I think they're still decent. I mean, you still got Saquon, you still got DeVonta Smith. I mean, you know, you got Jalen Hurts, you got Dallas Goedert. I mean, you still have a lot of weapons. You have Makai Lemon, who, you know, won the Biletnikoff Award last year. So, I mean, you got Hollywood Brown. Like, obviously, no disrespect to any of them guys, but they're not a proven A.J. Brown, right, who's a Pro Bowl receiver, who's an All-Pro receiver. You don't get that in return, but at the end of the day, you do have guys that splash. Obviously, Hollywood Brown has been a productive wide receiver. So you just gotta go get it out the mud. I mean, you know, Jalen Hurts has to go get it in and work out. And, you know, I think they've been doing a great job of trying to get on the same page.
Makai Lemon, like, if you're him and he grew up idolizing you, how do you, I mean, he's taken 23rd overall. Like, how do you approach this? Like, as obviously an opportunity, like, what are the first couple things you would tell him to do in the building, and have you talked to him?
Yeah, I definitely talked to him, man. You gotta go yeah, for sure. You gotta go be a hungry dog, man. At the end of the day, you gotta go take what you want. And right now, it's open for you. The opportunity is open. Obviously, you got Hollywood Brown, who's a little older, that may have a first run to who being a starter. But at the end of the day, when you're young and you coming in, like when I came in, I was a rookie. I had Kevin Curtis. I had Reggie Brown. Like, I was like, man, I'm coming in. I'm starting. I don't care about your production, what y'all done. I'm coming in starting. So I think it's just a mindset. You got to come in. You got to earn the respect. You got to show your quarterback. You got to show your offensive coordinator you can be trustworthy. And, you know, just when you get an opportunity to make plays, you just got to make those plays. And I know he'll do that.
I want to take a look at, I guess I would love to know the Patriots side of this. Does this change how you feel about them? I feel like everyone said their schedule and whatever. Like, how does bringing him in sort of to replace the targets, I guess, of Stephon Diggs, but a different role a little bit? Like, what does he do for that team?
I mean, he's a wide receiver one. So anytime you're able to capture a wide receiver one of that stature, I mean, you're not missing at all. I just think, you know, with Drake May, obviously he has to come in and, you know, he has to, you know, prove his dominance, which I think he will. But losing to Stephon Diggs, you know, he had a few issues last year. They had the Cardi B stuff. I mean, it's just a lot of, you know, people got to make football, man. And, you know, when you try to bring all this extra stuff off the field and you got these wives and girlfriends playing, like, man, it's about football. It's not about Cardi
so it's
B.
all our fault. It's about you're blaming the women.
It's about football. I mean, it's not the women's fault. I'm just saying, but a lot gets in the way. And at the end of the day, this is football we're talking about. We're not talking about golf. We're not talking about what I'm playing right now, an individual sport. We're talking about a team sport.
Right.
And I just think when you have a lot of drama around it, I mean, that's just a distraction to the team. You don't need distractions. It's hard enough being a professional athlete and working out and keeping your body right. Like, it's just too many distractions. So let the main thing be the main thing. Being a head coach, let the main thing be the main thing, and you'll have the success.
I think that's what I think it's like a shame. Like, I look at the Eagles, and I'm like, what a shame that they couldn't. And I look at, like, when there's a team, and you're saying there's personalities, like, I just look up. I look at the leadership. I've been in situations like that. I've seen situations from afar. So then I'm like, how could I look there? And I say, how could you not make?
It starts with the respect level. And I don't know if you saw a few times last year. I know you have. Did you see those looks and those eye contacts from AJ Brown and Nick Sirianni?
But what is that?
Nick Sirianni, AJ Brown, him coming off the field, Nick Sirianni going to cuss him out or say certain things, and then you walking into the locker room and you looking at your head coach like, don't say nothing to me. I don't respect you. So, I mean, you can say look up, but sometimes these head coaches can't control. And Nick Sirianni, I'm not going to say he can't control the locker room, but you have dominant personalities, and A.J. Brown is a very dominant personality.
You think so? Or is he? You think he's like?
He is. I mean, he plays the quiet, and I'm modest, but at the end of the day, he's a very dominant personality. Yes,
I get
he
it.
is. I mean, you can't be a dominant wide receiver and demand a wide receiver without being a dominant personality.
Well, that brings me then to DeVonta Smith, because he doesn't seem like a dominant personality.
He's not, but he's a worker and he's the monster.
Okay, so he's what you're saying. Like you said, it doesn't exist. He's that, and I'm so curious from a human perspective. Like, what for him now? Is he? I've had people. I can't think of it now because I can't. But like, I've had legends come on my show here and say he's been waiting for this. He's been. Okay. I think Donovan McNabb might have told me that. Like he can't wait to be the number one guy. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think he cares about being the number one guy. What is his whole vibe right now?
I mean, in his mind, he's always been the number one guy. It's just unfortunate that, you know, you have like when I played, I had other guys that I played with, Jeremy Macklin, right. Mike Evans. You know, I played with other wide receiver ones. So
great guys.
In my eyes, I never looked at it like, oh, I'm A1, AB. Like, we both wide receiver ones. So I know if you ask DeVonta Smith, were you not a number one receiver in that offense, he gonna feel he was the number one wide receiver. So, I mean, for him, doesn't nothing change. The only thing changes, he may get more targets now. But at the end of the day, he's proven and he showed he can take all the reps, all the targets or less targets. I mean, he's proven he could do it all. So
DeSean.
when I say a dominant personality, I mean it's just a persona that behind closed doors, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. That doesn't mean that DeVonta Smith is not that. He's just not going to really – he's not confrontational. And I just feel like behind closed doors, A.J. Brown's going to tell you how he feels.
When you played with – are you saying that you were more like DeVonta Smith than A.J.?
No. I was more like A.J. I mean, I'm like no one. I'm one-on-one for a reason. So no disrespect to anybody, but I just feel like what I've done was – it was different. You know, I played a wide receiver position – under 6 feet, like I was 6'4", and the things I did down the field, I mean, I don't think not too many people could do. You can throw me the deep
100%.
home run. You could throw me a 5-yard hitch, and I'm gonna turn it into an 80-yard touchdown. So no disrespect to none of them guys. We all have different type of games, but yeah, my personality, I was different. Like, you know, looking back, I had attitudes. Like if I wouldn't mess with you, I'm gonna tell you. I didn't bite my tongue. Like, you know, it was just I just did it my way.
You did it your way. Now you're doing it your way and enjoying some free time with your friends before you have to kick off your season. I do want to ask. I am interested in like DeVonta Smith, but let's look at some of the. I'm going to show you. I don't know if you can see it on your phone. Can you see this? This quarterback, wide receiver. Can you see this? Can you see me? There you go. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's some of like the quarterback, wide receiver combos in the league right now. How many of these would you take over Drake and AJ?
Let me see. Probably like.
Talk me through it.
Like 3 or 4. I mean, I would say I like the Burrow chase. I mean, Prescott and Lamb that's always hard not to go against. I'm curious to see what Nix and Waddle would do. Obviously, Goff and St. Brown, I'm taking him. I'm taking them. Stafford, I'm taking them over. And then Darnold and Smith, I mean, what they did last year. I mean, shoot, Daniels and McLaren got it. They got to argue. No, I probably wouldn't take that one, but I would say like 4 of them. I would take 4 of them over Drake and AJ.
DeSean, is it Dak and Lamb or Dak and George now?
I don't know. That's tough. I mean, I'm a Lamb fan. I mean, I love George Pickens. Don't get me wrong, but that's a tough one. They're both ballers for sure.